So for our small group, I felt like everybody did a very good job. Um, it was interesting and kind of differed from some of the other groups I've been in, since it was 100% online. We did not get to meet up in person. We're scrambled across the United States, so it would be hard to do that. But they were all very good people. I found them all very good to get and easy to get along with. Um, we were 100% a team since we were all working towards one end goal. We had a leader. Groups don't normally have leaders. Um, we had a person who was a stock specialist. Well, that's what we called them. They were very good at stocks, and they actually kind of knew stuff about them. While the others, we did most the rest of us did not know anything about stocks. Um, we had somebody whose job was to get everybody to respond, and then we had our stock specialist who kind of knew what stocks we should start with and had opinions, to give us different ideas and present to the group on what we should invest in. Uh, this helped us tremendously by keeping everything on the rails, and we also knew who to ask about what. We knew who to ask about scheduling, we knew who to ask about stocks, and we could go to different people, and nobody felt overwhelmed or like they were doing everything. Individuals played good roles to keep everything rolling. We had one person who was the best at contacting everybody, and they started all the Zoom meetings, all the calls that we all got on, as well as transferred everything into different time zones so that we all kind of knew when to show up for our own time zone. That was very, very nice. We all took our turns being the observer, which was good. Um, I have a job in front of a computer actually, so I was able to watch our stocks rise and fall a little bit and to message the group about that. Most of our norms were informal. We had the one person who knew stocks, so their opinion being weighed pretty heavily was a formal norm that we all understood would help us. Um, our attendance was held up the whole time. It was very equal. Every member participated well in the meeting. Um, Nobody really wasted time. None of us really had time to waste. We met up a couple times for half an hour at a time. That's how long the whole thing would last. The Zoom meetings that we were in would last, so it was hard to try to do anything more than that. Nobody really had power necessarily, since we all had to do inputs on the selection process. Um, there was a bit of status and a little bit of weight to people's opinions, especially the person who knew stuff about stock, the stock exchange, which makes sense because you can't you if you want to be outputting the most money you can, you don't really want to um, do something where you don't know what you're doing. So they had a bit of knowledge, and they got a little bit of status for that. Um, there weren't any power plays. Only one person really knew the stock, so we more or less deferred to them. They were our leader as well, so there was no point for a power play. Um, Being online, it's hard to form a clique. Uh, People came out of their shells as the week went on. I thought that was nice. It's hard for people to show themselves to a new group, especially online. You have all day to hype yourself up as you're not just thrown into that mix. Um, the leader was somebody who was able to overcome this hurdle pretty early on. Um, uh, and I think we had a cohesive group. We all tried to message when we could, and the only thing that could have made it better is if we were all unemployed and lived in the same time zone. That would have made things very easy. Uh, I'd say we mostly got stuck in foundation. There wasn't much time to cause any issues or storm at all, so we never really moved on from there. We just worked on the foundation and applying it. Um, we didn't have time to have trouble. Um, the agenda we followed was just getting our conversation done quickly and saving unimportant things for messages. We didn't have a hard time meeting, but we also didn't want to waste any time since we couldn't be together very long, especially with the Zoom meetings being capped at about 40 minutes, 30, 40 minutes. Um, and us meeting a little bit later in the evening is when people were off work and we had a little bit of time in between all the other things that we had to be doing in our day-to-days. Um, I'm really proud of the group that we whipped together. I think that we were fairly effective at what we did. I think that there was no infighting, which is by and far one of my favorite parts. I don't really like that part. Um, The high participation was amazing for scheduling. Everybody was very responsive for that. I think it would have been nice to utilize messaging a bit more, and perhaps make an immediate agenda to make sure our minutes weren't wasted. Um, this would help us on our time management to make it the best that it could be. But we got everything done within the time we needed to. If we have to meet in the future for future assignments, there's things we'll be able to work on and improve on. Obviously, we've only been together for a week now, but no, going forward, I'm very confident in our group, and I am very happy that I got put with this group. So, thank you.